Good morning, Oxnard. My name is Alex Burum, Investment Advisor with Plan Member Securities and President of the Optimist Club. And today I'm so happy to be joined by Field Marshal Martinez. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you so much for your service. The stuff you guys do for our community in terms of preparedness, we can't thank you enough.
Thank you. It's an honor to be working in the fire department in the city of Oxnard, particularly because I grew up in Oxnard. So it's very difficult to be able to stay in the hometown that you grew up in, but I was very fortunate. So like I said, it's an honor for me to be here. I feel like I'm home. It doesn't feel like a job to me. It feels like this is my home. So that's why I give it 100% every day.
That's great. And why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about what the fire department does here in Oxnard?
Well, the Oxnard Fire Department, we have many functions we do. It's separated basically into two major divisions. The first division is emergency response. That means all the fire engines, trucks, the wildland firefighting, the medical calls, all the fires. And then we have another side, it's the fire prevention side. That is just what it says, it's fire prevention. We have a lot of state mandated inspections. We go out and visit the businesses, ensure that they're following good practices in business, storage of hazardous materials. And within that, which is the Fire Prevention Bureau, it has two divisions. One is the CUPA, which is a Certified Unified Program Agency. It's under the auspices of the EPA. And what they're responsible for is primarily hazardous materials, storage, waste, above ground tanks, underground tank, treatment facilities. And then on the other side of the fire prevention, we have the life safety, which is inspections of all high-rises, schools, convalescent homes, multi-family apartment units. With the Bureau, we also do fire investigations. So we are responsible for also investigating fires. And if in fact it becomes a criminal fire, then to work with the Oxnard Police Department, and we have a unit just for that, a task force that we use, and we work on any crime fires.
And Oxnard's a large city. You guys have your work cut out for you.
Yeah, we average in the city of Oxnard, we're investigating anywhere from 80 to 100 fires. Out of those fires, currently we track about 50% are what we would consider arson. The good thing is in the last few years, it appears to be a lot more vandalism caused arson, not necessarily intentionally to like burn people's property. So that's a good thing. But we continue to be busy, and our engine companies are extremely busy. We have probably the top 3 busiest engine companies in the county.
Yeah, that's incredible. Now it's an important month coming up here. Would you like to tell us about the event coming up and about this month?
Yeah, so this month, this Sunday, October 6th, kicks off Fire Prevention Week in the entire nation. It commemorates the Great Fire of Chicago. And so it's an opportunity for all fire departments throughout the nation to kind of reflect, and gives the community an opportunity to reflect on whether or not they're doing the best they can to stay safe in fire. As you know, you well know, we've had some significant fires, in particular here in the Ventura County area in the last few years.
Yes.
And so I think it's an opportunity again to reflect. And it's interesting though that this week comes in at the time where we start to see the what we would call the fire season in Southern California. So it's an opportunity for us to not only talk about Fire Prevention Week, but also, you know, preparedness. Right. If you have to evacuate, if you live in the hills, if you live in the areas around Ventura County, their urban interface as we call it, it's an opportunity for us to also promote that. And we do that through one of our programs. It's the Ready and Resilient program. It's a disaster preparedness. Some years ago we created a guide. It's English and Spanish, but we felt like we need to be all hazards. We no longer just go on fires. We go on some big emergencies. Unfortunately, you have incidents like the borderline shooting. That it wasn't a fire. It wasn't a crash. It was just a big medical emergency. And so that's what we mean by all risk. We are trained to assist on almost any emergency that is presented through us. And so the Oxnard Fire Department developed a guide. It's a Ready and Resilient guide. And if you follow some of the steps in here in an emergency, you will be prepared, and then if you do have an emergency, you'll be able to recover faster.
And for some of our viewers, what can they do within their family to be prepared? They can find this booklet online?
Yes, this booklet is online on the Oxnard Fire Department webpage, and again, it's in English and Spanish. They can download it. We always have them available at any events, and you can hold on to it, put it in your refrigerator. It's a very simple. It has like 10 steps to prepare. Know where your utilities are. Example, if you do have an earthquake, you're going to want to shut the gas off, right? In case it's leaking. It talks to you about what kind of materials to have if you have to evacuate, what kind of food, how to store your food. We're not going to have any power. It talks to you a little bit about having some cash on hand. If you have pets, it talks to you about a little bit about people forget about their pets.
Right.
Or what if you have your mom or dad who take medications. Those are just some of the things that we cover in this booklet.
Having a to-go bag.
Exactly, having a to-go bag, maybe one at home and one in your car. Because, middle of the day, earthquake, the families are usually not together. So we go into how to formulate a unification plan.
Right.
How to get a hold of each other and where to meet. Those are the kind of things and some of the things we want the public to be aware of.
Yeah. Being ready and resilient at the Oxnard Fire Department website. Now, there's also a very exciting Pancake Breakfast coming up.
Yes, so as I mentioned, we are going to be kicking off the Fire Prevention Week. And this Sunday, October 6th, kicking off at 8:30 in the morning, 8:30 to 11 at our Fire Station 1 in Oxnard at 491 South K Street. We will be hosting an open house and pancake breakfast free to the community. We wanted to give a little incentive to the public to come in, meet the firefighters, look at our equipment, see some of the efforts that we're making to make them aware of some of the potential problems they can have in their home. We'll have information about how to go through your home and do a self-inspection.
Right.
How to look for your working smoke alarms. What happens if they're not working. Carbon monoxide.
Right.
And we'll talk a little bit about trying not to have too many chemicals under your sink.
Right.
One of our representatives from our Coupa division will be there, an expert in chemicals who'll be able to talk about how are ways to eliminate having so many chemicals under your sink. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
We all have them. And so it's an opportunity for the public to get that knowledge. We will also be doing some demonstrations on how to put out a fire with an extinguisher. Our CERT program, our Community Emergency Response Team, volunteers will be on site to assist with that. And for the little ones, it'll be an opportunity for them to meet the firefighters, see the engine, and take a station tour.
Yeah. Very exciting.
Very exciting.
And your department has also created some very good-looking T-shirts here too.
Yeah, so it just happens that October is Breast Cancer Aware Month.
Let's hold this up here for the viewers.
We will be having also these wonderful shirts available for sale. Every year we do this campaign. The Oxnard Fire Department does it, the police department, and the money that is raised goes to the cancer organization here in the county.
Very good. Well, I want to thank you so much for your service, and Chief Bass for welcoming us here and giving us some tips for fire preparedness and emergency preparedness here in Oxnard and Ventura County. Again, my name is Alex Bierum. Thank you for watching our show, hosted by KDYTV.com. And please feel free to subscribe for future upcoming content. Thank you very much.